Okay, Chris Cullen back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and looking at the back window, the back porch, I should say, through the sliding glass doors. It is snowing out today in Alto, Pennsylvania. So we got about a half an inch on the ground. Looks like it's amazing. It's supposed to be spring, but we got some snow going on. That's the top of my wife's greenhouse. You can see we're getting settled in here, but. But the snow, we thought it was supposed to rain today, but I pretty much canceled all my appointments today, and I figured I'd stay home and do some fish stuff. As you can see, the guppy tank looking beautiful. Unfortunately, I did lose a molly out of here. So that's kind of a sad story. But, the thing of it is, when you move tanks and you move stuff like that, this stuff happens. I believe this water is a little bit different. I checked the GH. Is actually, the water here is a little bit harder. So I've had some issues with adjusting the fish to this water. But what you have to do in that situation is just grin and bear it, and keep doing water changes, keep doing things to make them get adjusted to the water. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I've been doing. So unfortunately, there's some bad news in this tank. Now, you guys know we had to move. And I cut down tanks to 13. I had 28 at one point, but then it was 22. And then it was, when I got to 175, now it's only 13. Now, when we moved, we sold the 175 gallon with all the big fish. Now, that yellow sickle right there, that African sickle, the peacock, we had her in that tank, along with the bigger African sickles in there. There's the black one, the blue one, and the one in the corner there hiding was in there too. This tank had 3 other fish in there when I put them in this 55 gallon. Now, I was only going to put them in there for a little bit until I figured out what I was going to do with the other fish. And, what I want to do is get a 100 gallon or 125 gallon and put her in, or put the cichlids in the bigger tank. But I came to the realization that that was a mistake. I waited too long. That fish right there, you can see all the fish hiding in the corner, is very, very aggressive. Now, she was aggressive in the 175 gallon. Now, I should have known this. This is my fault. And I've kept African cichlids for a long time, and I knew that this was going to happen. So this is my fault. I should have kept the cichlids in there, and let her have the African cichlids. I made the mistake of keeping these African cichlids, put them in a 55 gallon. This tank is too small. Now, I'm missing 3 fish because she killed 3 of those fish. I have 1 fish downstairs, which I'll show you, who is dead, or who's dying. I tried to save him, but it was way too late. I didn't notice until yesterday when I was doing water changes. So I am pretty much sick of African cichlids in general. I don't like fish that are aggressive like this anymore. I've gotten rid of about 6 or 7 of them. I got rid of a whole colony of Aratus because of this. You can see what's going on right now. And unfortunately, this when we had these fish in the other tank, there were some eggs on the bottom. We couldn't figure out where the eggs were from. I'm assuming that they were her eggs, because if you look in this corner here, now the corner that she's protecting, there, if you look close enough, I don't know if you can see it, the little baby fry. I'm assuming that she is protecting the baby fry from those guys in the corner. So, like I've done before, I rehome fish. This fish here is going to have to go into a tote. I'm going to move her in about 5 minutes once I get off the video with you guys. And like I said, I'm sick of African cichlids, but this is my fault. This is I made a mistake of thinking that fish would last long enough in the tank that was already established. with African cichlids. I thought that she would be okay, but I was absolutely wrong. This is the reason why you need a bigger tank when you have African cichlids when they get bigger. And like I said, the biggest mistake I made was waiting too long. Now, I wanted to put a 125 up here and then put the 75 on the bottom. So I have the angelfish on the bottom, and then 100-gallon, 5-foot tank I'm looking for, which will fit up on here. Or I could even put the 500-gallon where the 55 is right now and move the 55 over here and sell the 55. Either way, that's the plan, but I waited too long, and now we got some dead fish in our hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy into a tote. We're going to move the babies into a grow-out tank, and which I'll show you in a second, which I have downstairs, and then we'll see what happens. I may adopt this one out or rehome this one, but either way, the tank, that girl has got to go, because you can see what the fish are doing there. And those are the least aggressive fish that I have. So she's obviously taking advantage, and she's protecting the whole side of that tank, you can see. So my thinking is that she was holding, or she's still holding, and the babies that she released are in the corner there. So I think once I get this fish out of here, it'll be okay. But like I said, with the African cichlids, you never know. So what I want to do is I want to take these guys, her out of here, and see how the rest of the tank is. Okay, and we'll take it from there. But this is what I have set up downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs here. We're going to show you what I'm going to do. Down to the fish nook. And the fish nook is still on the way. I'm going to show you something you're probably not going to like. But this is we're honest here on this channel. We're going to show you everything. So you can see the puffer fish still in there. They're doing great. I'm not worried about them. This tank here, I lost some fish out of. These jaguars are getting very aggressive. There's a firemouth hiding in there somewhere. I don't know if he's in there anymore. Maybe they killed him. I don't know. But I don't see him in there. So let me see if I can find him. Oh, he's right there, hanging out in the corner. So this tank, I lost a baby jaguar that jumped out of the quarantine tank, and then we had the other firemouth got beat up. And I'm thinking that the jaguar did, because they're getting very aggressive. And you can see they're squaring off. This tank will eventually, I will be rehoming these guys once they get a little bit bigger, because they'll get big, and then I'll be done with these guys. And then I probably won't have any Africans or any kind of cichlid anymore for a while, until I get a big monster tank. And like I said, it's just my mistake. You know, I had to move quickly because of the living condition we were under. We had to get out of the house. And we should have planned it out better, but at the last minute we had to move all these tanks, and unfortunately I did not move them, you know, the way I wanted to move them. You know, and this particular house is not set up for fish tanks, so we have to go. So now I tried to save this fish last night, but you can see he's banged up really bad. You know, usually in these situations, I was actually planning on putting him down. So that's what happens with African cichlids. You can see he's tore up all over the place. I didn't catch it in time. I've been too busy trying to get this place squared away. And again, it's my fault. You can call me a bad fish owner if that's what you want. But this guy was my favorite fish, along with the Venistus I have in there. He killed that one too, and there was another peacock that she killed. So, like I said, it's all my fault. I'm going to be doing, you know, we're going to be changing stuff up here. I'm trying to come across a 5-foot 100-gallon tank, or 125 if I can find one. Then I can move those African cichlids in there. But for right now, you can see the convicts, the babies are in here. They're getting pretty big. They're the polar blue convicts. They're still babies, so yeah, they're getting big. So we're happy with those guys. Now, these are the totes I have. I'm gonna set up this tote here with a heater and probably a sponge filter, and I'll put her in there, and we'll see what happens. And until, I'll do that until I find someone who wants to take these fish, or if I could get a bigger tank. We'll see. But yeah, that's the fish nook. You can see right there, and is all the little stuff I have and I want to breed eventually. I got a 10-gallon in storage, and another 20-gallon. I got these two going. This one's obviously a tank that we need to let him get a little better, but I don't think he's going to get better. He's still breathing, but I've seen a lot of times I treat him with salt. A lot of times when you treat these guys, they get better. So for right now, we're going to leave it the way it is, and I'll put the babies in this tank, and then I'm going to move this one over here. But we'll have some breeding tanks here, and I want to get rid of these small ones and put 5 more gallons up here, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more 5 more gallons, and then we can make this just a whole just a breeding rack. And I'm running one pump right now. What I really want to do is run a bigger pump and then just run all tanks off that pump. The pump is running all these air bubblers, but I could probably do something a little different with the air bubblers. We'll see what happens, but or you get more sponge filters. That's the way I want to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we got going on. Sad news for the fish. I know people are probably going to beat me up on this, but and it's only a 5-gallon, but that's really the only tank I had to put them in. I don't have my other 10-gallon here, and I don't have any way of getting it today, so unfortunately, that's what happens with fish. And like I said, I take all the blame. My fault. And I know better, and I'm beating myself up over it because I'm like, I know better. Why did I do this? But there was really not a lot of options when I was moving. So what I'm going to do is, move her and then hope for the best. And then I'll do an update video on it, and we'll see how she's acting. I want to get the babies into this tank, and I want to grow them out, if I can catch them. And yeah, it should be fun. So we're gonna drain the water out, get a heater going, get a sponge filter going for the other fish, and then we'll get the thing going. As you can see, this tank looks great. I put all of the neons in there, the black neons, and I put the pencil fish in there. Beta's down at the bottom there. She likes this tank. She gets more swimming room, and it's just I like the way that tank came out. I like all the little neons in there, the glow light tetras, the black neons. So it's a very docile tank. I like the way. I like to get a plant that go a little higher up to here. Maybe I'll do that, but I like the way it looks. But yeah, we're very happy with the fish nook, and like I said, we'll be doing this. I just want a straight 5-gallon, 10 gallons, and we're gonna be breeding here soon. This tank, eventually I'll be moving these guys out of here, and I'll probably make this a community tank or something once I get rid of the jaguars. But at this particular point in my fish hobby, I'm not gonna put up with aggressive fish anymore. I know it's, like I said, it was partly my fault for putting them in the 55-gallon. Like I said, I wanted to move quicker on getting a bigger tank. It didn't happen for us. I will be moving to getting a bigger tank eventually, and then probably keeping the African Sickles. But most of the African Sickles that I wanted or that I was going to keep are gone. They're dead. So except for the black one. The black I have had for like 7-8 years now, or 6-7 years running. I got him when I first got into the hobby. I actually had him in my other fish tank when I first moved in with my new wife, my new wife, when I got remarried. So that African Sickle is still with me, along with the blue one that I've had for a while. So I'm protecting those guys. But the one that this one here, I've had about the same amount of years, and the fish I did not want to. I did not want to die. I did not want the fish to die at all. So unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. So anyway, sad day, but we'll move on from it. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you. We're gonna edit my slogan back in. If you can't own them, rehome them. I forgot to say that, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If you can't own them, rehome them. And if you like the channel, like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you know anybody who also wants to subscribe, recommend us, and we'd be greatly appreciated. And any comments, let me know. We'll see you. Bye.